Hello everyone, I'm with me, and today we're going to be discussing my experience with gender norms. No, this title is not clickbait. I've had experience with gender and I definitely have some problems with it, and you're goddamn right I'm going to go into detail about it. Nothing sexual though, don't worry about that. Before we continue, let's go to psychiatry.org to see what they say about gender dysphoria. What is gender dysphoria? Gender dysphoria involves a conflict between a person's physical or assigned gender and the gender with which he/they/they identify. People with gender dysphoria may be very uncomfortable with the gender they were assigned, sometimes described as being uncomfortable with their body, particularly developments during puberty, or being uncomfortable with the expected roles of their assigned gender. The gender problems I dealt with in particular was the expected roles of my assigned gender. The only time in my life where I wasn't skinny was when I was a baby. After that, skinny was the only weight I've experienced ever since. I was considered frail and feminine because of this and many other factors. I've never liked sports, I don't care much for cars, I'll drive anything if it has wheels and can move. I love cute things, and I'm a very emotionally driven person. The problems I have with my gender did not start happening until I went to school and was bullied for my feminine-like qualities. I never wore anything girly, so I never did anything out of the ordinary. I just did the things that fit with my personality. This led me to question if I was supposed to be born a girl. Maybe something happened that led me to become a boy instead. I was actually starting to believe that I was a girl in my past life, and she asked God to reincarnate her into a boy with the same personality that she had. It was a bit bizarre, but I was totally okay with that hypothesis for the time being. After coming up with that story, I started fantasizing about what it would be like to be a girl, and wishing I was born as one. Quote, "Children with gender dysphoria may express the wish to be of the opposite gender," end quote. Of course, with enough time passing, I've realized that I was having these thoughts not because I genuinely consider myself a girl, but just because of society's stereotyping of how a boy should be and how a girl should be. Doing the research now tells me the condition I was in: gender nonconformity. Gender dysphoria is not the same as gender nonconformity, which refers to behaviors not matching the gender norms or stereotypes of the gender assigned at birth. Examples of gender nonconformity, also referred to as gender expansiveness or gender creativity, include girls behaving and dressing in ways more socially acceptable of boys, or occasional cross-dressing in adult men. Gender nonconformity is not a mental disorder. I've always behaved differently than boys, whatever that's supposed to mean. I've also never really been into being a real man, or whatever that means. I always thought doing stupid bets like licking a swing set or fighting, for whatever reason, were stupid. I was never interested in sports or cars, as I mentioned earlier. So when the few friends I had talked about sports and cars, I didn't care much for it and didn't have a conversation to go off. Not too long ago, I watched a stream of Suris playing some Paper Mario. The topic of gender norms came up and I chipped in. I mentioned how as a guy it's not manly to sit down and pee for some odd reason. Of course, everyone was like, "That's bullshit, who cares if you sit down to piss or not?" I totally agree with them. It's almost like how verse 22:11 in Deuteronomy says, "You shall not wear a garment of divers sorts, as of woolen and linen together." Like, who the hell cares? Why is it so important to not have wool and linen together? What's morally wrong with that? Who gets harmed with someone having wool and linen together? That's exactly how I feel about using the bathroom and having to stand up to pee. Who cares? My friend always pokes fun at me and my femininity, and it kind of upsets me. It's not that I care whether I'm manly or not, it just upsets me that he feels me sitting down at the toilet is wrong, despite the fact it harms no one, and in fact some argue it's actually good for you. These are the types of things I'm talking about. It gets to a point where I almost want to cry because it brings up past memories of being bullied. He doesn't do it on purpose, and I haven't really told him how I felt. I wonder why I haven't told him, huh? Anyways, they're absolutely silly rules and completely unnecessary, especially in today's world. A lot of people always assumed I was gay, and I don't really know why. My interest in boys wasn't that overwhelming for me, so I didn't leave any hints. I also thought I was straight up until 2 or 3 years ago, so I always shut down any suggestions of me being gay. I wonder if my femininity had something to do with people thinking I was gay. I have cross-dressed in public before, but not in a very serious tone, more for the fun of it. And this was during high school when the bullying stopped, so, again, never done anything out of the ordinary. I've done it on more than one occasion, and probably will do so in the future. So there, we have finally gotten to the bottom of it. Although I have wished to be the opposite gender, I've realized it was only because of stereotypes, and thinking if I was born a girl, life would be easier. I was simply faced with stereotypes I did not conform to, and because of this, I had a case of gender nonconformity. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like we did. And this was a bit of an odd video, definitely a little bit out of the ordinary for my usual content, but this was something I've had for my thought process for a while. I've had this script for weeks now, but I feel like now's the time to bring it up. So yeah, again, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you want to support the channel, link in the description to my Patreon page. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye-bye! Also, before I end the video, I'm using a different microphone. I'm using my gaming headset. I usually use my iPhone, but this time I'm using my gaming headset. So let me know if the quality is better or worse. And yeah,